Oh my God, you're dating a narcissist. I'm going to give you 5 signs that you're probably dating a narcissist. You've tuned into When Your Mind Becomes the Scene of the Crime podcast. I'm Dr. Linda F. Williams. I take survivors of abuse and trauma from pain to purpose so that you take back your power, tap into the truth of who you are, and live your best life now. Sign 1. The conversation always turns around to them. You could be bleeding your heart out to this person, trying to explain to them why you're hurt, whatever it is. First date, you all are talking about each other, you expect the conversation to go back and forth, and you, in the middle of the conversation, you suddenly realize, wait a freaking minute. I'm doing all of the listening here, and he just blacks out, she just blacks out when I start talking about me. Now, in the early stages of the relationship, they may be able to feign concern, but you'll know by just watching the body language, the way they may or may not interrupt you, that this person is not that into you. Just pay attention. Now, I do want to say that if this is a first date or early in the dating relationship, if you're a trauma survivor, it might be a good thing to just do a lot of listening, okay? You don't want to fall into the trap of telling a potential narcissist how to manipulate you, so you want to play your cards close to the chest. You don't want to get caught up in talking about past relationships, how much somebody else hurt you, and what you will and won't take off anybody else, because that would give a narcissist their playbook. So if you are a trauma survivor, it's pretty darn good that this joker only wants to talk about him or herself. So it's a good thing to just listen. But as you listen, pay attention to, is this person always tearing down another person? Are they always talking about how their past relationships, the other person was wrong all the time? Where they're always trying to build themselves up as the big savior or grandiosity. That all comes out in the conversation, so you can still get clues from that. Number 2, they cannot take criticism. And sometimes you're not even criticized, and they get all out of whack because they think they're being criticized. Now, this is a sign of a narcissist, because they're very fragile. Their egos are very fragile, and their grandiose, all out there personalities are often trying to cover up this fragility in their characters. So if you correct them or say anything that they can take as criticism, you're going to see them crumble like crumb cakes. Beware of that. You may be dating a narcissist. Sign number 3. Everything has to go their way. It's not about you, your concerns, what you want. It has to be all about them. So you might suggest, let's go spend some time with my family, and they'll have every reason and excuse not to do that. Or you might want to go bowling, and they want to go do something else, play cards or something. Whatever it is that they want to do, they will do whatever necessary to make sure that that's what you guys do. So it gets to a point where you don't matter really, okay? And if you are traumatized to the point where you've got this, what I call a please me driver, where you want to please others, you always subjugate yourself to others, you don't speak up for yourself, you're just going to go along with whatever it takes in order to keep the status quo and to keep peace, then you are more vulnerable to falling in with a narcissist. So just pay attention where you go on your dates, what you do, whatever it is, find out. Pay attention to whether or not they're always pushing and manipulating you toward their side of things and kind of disregarding your desires and wants in the relationship. This could go on all kind of levels, but just if it's a certain thing like you want to do A, they want to do B, you all always wind up doing B. Now, I don't know if that's because they're going off and throwing a tantrum or they're just so overbearing that you just give in. That's not good in a relationship. So beware of number 3. It's got to always go their way or not at all. 4. It ain't their fault. What? I slapped you? No. Then you go into the gaslighting thing. What? You feel offended? Well, that's you. It's all your fault. Gaslight. It's never their fault. They don't take ownership for anything. And one way you can see this in the early part of the relationship is pay attention to how they talk about past relationships. If this thing is always everybody else's fault, they're not even admitting or acknowledging any wrong that they did in those relationships, but it's always they were the big victim. Look out, you might be dating a narcissist. They're not going to take the blame. They're not going to take ownership of anything that they've done wrong, and they're not going to hear anything you got to say to the contrary. Number 4, just be sure you're aware if you see this behavior that you may be dating a narcissist. And number 5 is the biggest telltale sign that you may be dating a narcissist. The love bomb. Right out the gate. Oh, they're telling you that you're all of this and they've never had a person like you and you are the most beautiful or most handsome so-and-so. They love you. They 2 weeks into the relationship, they talk about they love you. There's public displays of affection almost to the point of being nauseated. They're giving you gifts. They're giving you phone calls. They're telling you everything you want to hear. And that's happening early on in the relationship. They're just sucking you in. And see, this is another reason why I say that for us traumatized individuals, try not to be upchucking all the boogie on you right out of the gate. Because that just gives them their playbook. They know exactly what to say to you. They know exactly what to do to draw you in. And you get all of that in the love bomb phase. I'm just saying. I'm telling you, okay, so here we go. I love watching Say Yes to the Dress. Now, I never had a wedding. Been married, 2 times. Never had a wedding dress, none of that. But I love watching Say Yes to the Dress. And when I hear, oh, he's my knight in shining armor, or he's perfect, oh my goodness, the hackles go up on my back. I may as well be a crocodile. Things going up on your back. It's like, oh no, there's a problem here. I mean, come on, y'all. Nobody is perfect, and a knight in shining armor does not exist. What that tells me is that this person is so enamored that they cannot see any faults in the individual. They're getting all of their needs met through this so-called knight in shining armor who's rescuing them, but they can't see past that. Nobody's perfect. Oh, he's perfect. Look, no. In every relationship that went sour with me, if I felt like that they were all of that in the beginning of the relationship, and I talked a little bit about the narcissist I was with, how he used to buy me gifts and look adoringly at me and told me he loved me within 2 weeks of meeting me online and never had met face to face. See, all of that was love bombing out of this joker. You can't fall for that, y'all. Please, please, please. Especially if you're a traumatized individual. We draw those bad fellas in our lives. It's like we got a neon sign on our behind talking about narcissist. And we tend to be very codependent. And that's what they need, because they need to feel like they're the center of your world at all times. I had an uncle tell me once, in fact, it was when I introduced him to this narcissist. And my uncle is so laid back. I mean, he's so soft-spoken. And if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. But he told me this, and I didn't get it at that time. He said, the way you know who somebody really is you observe them under pressure. Or, in this case, I would say, tell that joker no and see how he acts. Might ghost you. If you got a passive-aggressive narcissist, oh my goodness, Lord, he probably ghost you and have you running after him, texting and calling, and don't do that. Don't do that. I'm telling you, it's hard not to be drawn into that, but that's all their manipulation. That's all them drawing you in so you can feed their narcissistic tendencies. I said in an earlier video, boy, y'all, we got to starve that monster, okay? We got to starve him out. And pretty soon they're going to leave you alone because you're not giving them what they want. But it probably won't happen without them blowing up at your behind. And if you somebody that suffered trauma in the past and you can't stand conflict, or you shy away or shrink back from conflict, you might stay with that narcissist forever. I'm just saying. So there are your 5 signs that you might be dating a narcissist. Next time, we're going to talk about what it is about us that draws narcissistic tendencies into our lives. I'm Dr. Linda F. Williams. Always remember, your greatest power is realizing the truth of who you are. Be sure to know that truth. Thank you for joining me today on When Your Mind Becomes the Scene of the Crime podcast. Schedule your free breakthrough session now at lindafwilliams.com. That's lindafwilliams.com.